And this really shocked me the first time I saw it because I just see someone take a bag of something out of their pocket and the parchment paper, and they're just there like rolling this thing, and I'm like, legit thought I was like, Hey guys, it's Misha from the Global Expats, and today I'm talking all about Italian culture shock. These are the main differences I found between Italy and the US. Number one. It's kind of a big one and kind of a terrifying one, but it's like the rules of the road. Just driving in general, if you're in a bus, if you're on a scooter, there's always people weaving in and out. You'll see scooters weaving in and out of the smallest spots. When you see cars parked on the street, they're literally bumper to bumper, and the streets are so small that it's a little bit stressful and a little bit overwhelming. I have seen cars kind of like hit each other trying to get out of a spot, you know, but that's what the bumpers are for, I guess. It's a little bit crazy. There's a lot of this going on. And this clip here that I'm showing you is when I was a tour guide in Italy and we were getting through a small street in Amalfi. The bus driver couldn't fit because the cars were just taking up too much space. So him and some people on the street literally got out and like picked up the car and just scooted it further onto the sidewalk. Another thing Italians do that actually is acceptable in most of Europe is that you're allowed to drink in public places. So you can grab a beer, you can grab a bottle of wine, you know, sit outside, sit in a park, you know, in front of the monuments. People are always out just drinking and snacking all together. You don't have to be, you know, on a restaurant patio for it to be legal. And I really like this because especially during the summer, you can just chill with your friends, share a bottle of wine, look at the beautiful sights and scenery and watch the sunset. And I really was surprised by this, but I'm totally on board. Another thing I didn't know until I got yelled at for it was when you go to the grocery store to buy like your fruits and vegetables, you can't touch the fruit with your hands. And I think now during like coronavirus days, the thought of that like freaks everybody out. But in Italy, you always have to get this plastic, like you put a plastic glove on to touch the fruit, to feel what you want to buy and take with you. You can't just use your bare hand, and I did not know that until a little old lady yelled at me. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. They freak out about it. The next thing that shocked me and took me a while to get used to is lines. I mean, Italians don't stand in lines. Like, lines aren't a thing. If you're in a cafe or something trying to get to the counter to get an espresso, or if you're at the post office or anything, like, you just kind of gotta push yourself to the front. Like, it's not like, oh, first come, first serve, we're just filing, you know, right behind each other. If you don't wiggle your way and push your way up, there's a good chance you're just not gonna get served, because it's kind of just a hot mess and you just gotta push your way through. And that was a big one for me because I'm very like, oh, you know, oh, you got here before. But then you just realize that you're like, wait, all these people are coming and I'm still in the back, like, what's going on? The next culture shock, which I was kind of expecting, was basic units of measurement. And by this, I mean simple things like listing out the date. We in the States write month, day, year. In Europe and pretty much the rest of the world, it's day, month, year. And basic units of measurement for temperature. They use Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. We use inches and feet in the States. They obviously are on a different measurement scale there, as is the rest of the world. America is just orbiting in its own world. I have no idea why America does not use the metric system. I think we just like playing by our own rules, but it makes having to deal with this stuff overseas unnecessarily complicated. Another culture shock in terms of like social life is the fact that smoking is totally normal. Smoking actually is very social. It wasn't so much like, I guess, the smoking, you know, that everybody smokes that was a shock to me. It's the fact that Italians, and I think a lot of Europeans also in general, roll their own cigarettes. And this really shocked me the first time I saw it because I just see someone take a bag of something out of their pocket and the parchment paper, and they're just there like rolling this thing, and I'm like, legit thought I was like, are we, like, what's going on? I did not realize that people buy tobacco and just sit and roll their own cigarettes. It is more common to see that than to see somebody smoking from like a pack that they bought. So I thought that was quite of a shock, but then when you realize it's just tobacco, you're like, oh, okay, we're in a public place, man. Another cultural difference is that Italians dress for the season, not for the weather. So even if it's a beautiful fall winter day, let's say it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, it doesn't matter. They are gonna be in their coats, long sleeve pants, boots. I mean, they always look really chic, so it works. But for the rest of us, I feel like I would just put on a tank top or a t-shirt and some shorts and enjoy the warm weather, because Americans, I guess, just dress for the weather. Italians definitely just dress for the season. Another culture shock that I found to be amazing, I was actually hoping this would be true, is that life is much slower. The work-life balance is so nice. You feel like people in Italy really take their time to enjoy life, and just every single day, like any normal day, they start, relaxed at a cafe, drinking their espresso, making their way to work. If you're going out to lunch or dinner, meal times are extended, there's no rush. And these little everyday things, everyday activities feel very much like full of life and very relaxed. And people do their work and they get it done, but you don't have this like stress. In America, it's very, widely known that people live to work, while in Italy and a lot of other European countries, they just work to live, and it's not what their whole life is centered around. Not only that, Europeans and Italians, they're given a lot of vacation time. And I think you're given roughly around 5 weeks, if not more, throughout the year. Me and Matteo didn't realize this until the summer, our first summer in Europe, but Italy, like in Rome and Florence and the major cities, that's where we were living at the time, it becomes a ghost town. Like, places are shut, restaurants are closed. Not only is it scorching hot where you feel like you're gonna melt into the cobblestone, but August is family month. Everybody goes to the coast, to the beaches, and a lot of them do just take the whole month of August off. So a lot of the things are shut. There's not too much happening. It's very quiet. Actually, if you are in the city, it's pretty, chill, pretty relaxed. They really have an emphasis on just enjoying life and spending time with friends and family. So the next culture shock is something I can totally get behind. Italians don't tip. So if you go to a restaurant and you see that something on the menu is 10 euros, you're only gonna pay 10 euros. And that's because the waiters and baristas all make a living wage. Unlike in the States, when they're all surviving off of the tips that you give them. I mean, us Americans know you can never go to a restaurant or even get a takeaway without leaving some sort of tip. But in Italy, and this has happened to me before, because I'm so used to tipping, they actually get offended. It was so not my intention when I did this. One time I did leave a tip, and they were like, what, you think I don't make enough money? But like, they were offended by it. I was like, so sorry, I'm American. I'm just so used to tipping. And something else that I thought was kind of strange, and I also got in trouble for, was that at a lot of cafes where you kind of just walk in and you can get a takeaway, they do have some indoor and outdoor seating, but I wasn't aware that they charge fees to sit. And the fee for inside is different than the fee for sitting outside. One time I got a sandwich and I was like, oh, I'll just, get a takeaway. But then after I got it, I was like, actually, I think I'm gonna sit and eat it here. And I sat down and the guy's like, whoa, what are you doing? You said you're taking it away. So like, I didn't get charged the fee. The next culture shock. Nothing runs on time. This could be buses, trains. If the trains are running on time, sometimes there's a strike and your train's not going anywhere because they decided to strike. So learning how to deal with the curveballs and panicking, especially if you don't speak Italian that well. There's been times where even I've been waiting for a bus for like an hour. I'm like, am I even at the right bus stop? Like, am I in the wrong place? Things closing midday. And by that I mean, it's an afternoon, maybe around 2 p.m., and you want to go buy your groceries. But you show up and the store is closed. Randomly, in the middle of the day, the hours aren't posted online anywhere saying that it was closed, but they took a midday break. So you go back home without your groceries, and you kind of gotta figure this stuff out as you go. Some stores close, some stores don't. It becomes kind of an art figuring out the map around town of where you can get your stuff when you need to. And also things being closed on Sundays. Most stores, most restaurants will just close because it's family day. So this was a big shock for me to not be able to just go out, buy my things when I need to, and learning how to navigate their siestas. Now, the next thing that was different is that when you eat at a restaurant, you have to ask for the bill. Italians love to enjoy life and sit and eat for hours. So the waiter will not bring you the bill until you ask for it, because they want you to enjoy your time and they're not gonna rush you to leave. And I know in America, right when you're done eating, that bill's coming. Do you want anything else? Okay, I'll bring you the check. And that's it, you're in, you're out. They need the other table. Business needs to move on, right? But in Italy, they really enjoy life, take their time, and they'll let you stay as long as you want. So that's it for this video on things I found to be Italian culture shocks. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I would love to hear from you guys. So if you've experienced similar culture shocks, I would love to hear it. So drop me a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.